this is John for MTG Nexus coming at you with a short Boros burn stream. As a friendly reminder, if you like modern-based content, please consider checking out our YouTube channel. Link is down below here on Twitch. Or if you're catching us on YouTube later, please consider checking out our Twitch channel as we're trying to get back into regular streaming in the weekday mornings. Normally I would stream from 9 to 11, but my body decided about halfway through the night that I needed to get up. So here we are at 6 a.m. getting ready to stream a Burn League and hoping to go back to bed after that. So Boros Burn has kind of been back on the rise. As many of you may know, this deck is kind of near and dear to my heart. It's kind of the deck that put me on the map as a content creator. I've kind of gone away from it a little bit lately, as I didn't think it was particularly well positioned. I know GG and Poseidon have continued to work on the deck here and there. I worked on it, I think, once earlier this month. It felt okay. Nothing too spectacular, but I know Yama Killer and a few other people have been pushing it, so I figured we'd give it another run this morning. Nothing too fancy about this list. We have the main thing is you have the split on the 2 mana spells. We have 2 Skullcrack, 4 Searing Blaze, 4 Charm, 2 Lightning Helix in this build. I do believe this was very similar to what GG ran his last list as far as the main deck. Sideboard, anything of note really was the 4 Path to Exile. You know, you do need to be able to answer Death Shadows, you do need to be able to Scourges, you do need to be able to answer Core Firewalkers in the mirror matches, and you also need to be able to answer Uros and Omnath in some spots. Sideboard, as far as that matchup, we have 2 Roiling Vortex, 2 Skullcrack, and 3 Relic of Progenitus to answer the life gain and graveyard aspects of the deck, and then a couple copies of Smash to Smithereens. Because I have been seeing an occasional Eldrazi Tron deck, although it's not, you know, considered part of the meta as far as like big events and stuff. I have been seeing it pop up here and there in leagues. So, see how this goes. Roiling Vortex also helps out with the Heliod matchup a little bit, making it a little bit easier to prevent your opponent from gaining infinite life. While it's not a guaranteed thing, you know, any little edges you can get that matchup are a nice thing as well. I do find it funny that the last quarter-ish was like 115 days or whatever, and then this week's only like 75 days or so, or this quarter is only like 75 or so. So I find that quite interesting. But, yeah, figured out since we're up this morning, may as well do something constructive before trying to go back to bed here in a bit. But, yeah, I'm way awake, and I haven't even had any caffeine. Ugh. Wonder how the queue times are this time of day. Probably not exactly peak time of the day to be doing leagues. So the last 7 days, the big decks, obviously, Uro Omnath, Blitz, Hammer Time, Rakdos Shadow, Burns at number 5, Amulet Titans, Mana Resurgence, Sultai Uro, Jund Death Shadow, Heliod Company, and then Blue-Red Stoneforge? Feels like a deck that shouldn't really be doing particularly well in an Uro meta. And Spirits has been making the pop-up here and there. What's up, Mini Mons? How are you? Yeah. Normally I'd still be sleeping this time of morning, but my body is just like, oh, after, I don't know, a couple hours, or 4 hours of sleep that I really didn't need anymore. So, taking a look at this hand, normally I automatically mulligan four landers, But with 2 Canopy lands, I'm very tempted to keep this hand, because even if we peter out, we have the ability to hit some redraws here. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. I'm going to fetch to thin a little bit. Normally I'm cognizant of Searing Blaze, but with 4 lands, I'm really not worried about running out of lands to trigger Blaze anytime soon. Like I said, this is one of those hands that normally I automatically mulligan these kind of hands, but with the 2 Canopy lands, this hand's at least worth looking at. Alright, basic island doesn't really tell us a whole lot. Scalding Tarn, once again, doesn't really particularly tell us a whole lot. Opponent probably should have gone ahead and bolted or whatever they were going to do, but you know, sometimes people get too cute with their sequencing, wanting to get a little more value out of Goblin Guide, or it's possible they don't have a 1-mana interaction spell, especially if they're like some type of Uro pile. Oftentimes, looks like they might be Jeskai or 4-color. Now they have the awkward thing of, do I want to fetch and play a spell when I'm potentially drawing a lightning bolt? Sometimes I wish I could just trigger the Jeopardy theme during moments like this. It's like, please make your move, friend. Please make your move. What you got over there? Alright, so they're finally fetching. Yeah, certainly seems possible, Lucarian. There are ways of doing archetype analysis is always This is where we might get punished for our keep. Looks like we might just be up against Blue Moon, or some variant thereof. Yep, Snapcaster, don't get to flash back anything, but it's gonna Skull Crack now. If they use Force of Negation, they use Force of Negation. It's kind of whatever. This is the one concern about this type of hand. Is the risk that we could flood out considerably. Although it just looks like we're up against Blue Moon, or some, maybe like Blue-Red Through the Breach. I suppose I deserve this from the hand I kept. Our opponent gonna steal it or just kill it? Just like kill it. Play the fetch land and pass. No reason to make any moves. Targeting me or them? Well, at least try for Searing Blaze. I feel like this is going to run into a mana leak. Remand? That's really bizarre. Unless you have Force of Negation, that just seems really dumb. I think honestly, if you have a counterspell, you just leave this hand as is. Like, you really don't want to risk me drawing into Boros Charm. Yep, apparently opponent agrees. You have Through the Breach. I guess with Vendilion Click, they're less likely to have Through the Breach. What is our opponent's hand? Oh, delightful. They have the loop. Like the old Pen and Sword, Deprive, Mystic Sanctuary special. Alright, now we just play the gather spells in our hand kind of trick. Just let's Eidolon resolve. Cryptic. Oh, I'm max sinkhole. Okay, fair enough. Like the one thing we didn't want to draw was another land. But once again, to be fair, I did start out the game with 4 lands, so... Alright, feels like this is going to be the key turn. Interesting. What do they put back on top? Sinkhole or Cryptic? So the reason I said I did Boros Charm into what was quite likely Cryptic Mint or quite likely counterspells was simply the fact of wait a sec, Deprive? Okay, sure. That was a game we probably shouldn't have won. And the question is, am I expecting my opponent to have a Madcap Empyrean or Madcap Platinum Empyrean package? That I don't know. I guess I could hedge and bring in Smash, because that answers Dragon's Claw and Platinum Empyrean. Blazes are kind of iffy because we know they only have Snapcasters and Vendilions. They could have TT as well. A lot of things with Blue Moon, you're never quite sure like what their angle of attack is. So we can board out a Helix, reduce the number of white cards in our deck in case they do have Blood Moon. Good old-fashioned one-lander now, huh? Still think this hand has enough going for it. We happen to hit a second land in our 2 draw steps, we get to drop Eidolon on time. Otherwise, we just go Swift Spirit on a Bolt, which isn't terrible either. Well, yeah, it still could be main, but we didn't necessarily see their whole deck. I mean... Well, yeah, they'd probably bring in Platinum, but that doesn't mean they didn't have TT in their deck. Attack with Swift Spear, see if they do anything. So Eidolon's probably just getting remanded or mana leaked or ether gusted. Put it on the bottom. Get a Bolt too. Yep. And see why the opponent kept their hand. Like I said, Relic isn't great in this spot, but it's decent. See if they try to, nope, no attack, no, once again, I'm not really playing spells here, which is Vendilion Click. Targeting themselves. This may seem strange. What's up, Derek? How are you doing this morning? To target their stuff, but I feel like keeping their creatures off the board just makes the game so much better for us. And notably, they put Snapcaster Mage on the bottom of their deck, which I find absolutely friggin' hilarious. This smashed them smithereens. Decent chance it's a dead card, but in case they had Empyrean, might as well leave it on top. It's kind of whatever. That's the only one I've really seen so far. I don't know. There wasn't really a lot in Kaldheim that was like modern power level worthy, honestly. I'll take this opportunity to try to resolve Boros Charm. If our opponent has Force of Negation, that's fine too. This does make Snapcaster Mage a viable thing for them this turn, but they really have nothing to snap back that's worthy. So I'm fine. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary getting back Cryptic. Yeah, that's annoying. Let's get no Searing Blazes in our deck, so no reason to really do anything here. This is where a card like Exquisite Firecraft used to matter. Just because our opponent couldn't sit back all day, or we could like guaranteed finish off a game. Looks like the Smash is just a dead card, but you know, never hurts to hedge in some spots. Not exactly thrilled with drawing these lands. No, I don't. No, I really haven't. I don't know. I saw quite a bit of modern well, more Kaldheim stuff yesterday than anything else. Engineer explosives on 1. So, I think we gotta go for it here. And we're dead to bolt, so I guess I'm okay with this. They have another counter spell? They brought in Mystical Dispute. Okay. So we can tell from that they have not brought in Platinum Imperion. So we can go ahead and board out the smashes now. Still not enthralled with Firewalker. Yeah, their main removal spell is Bolt, but they still have Snapcasters, they still have Vendilions, they still have Spell Snare. Sounds pretty good. No Boros D-Rev. Yeah, there's also that green enchantment. the double green enchantment that does stuff. I forget exactly what it does. It's like double green, can put a enchantment into your hand, blah blah blah. This smells like a spell snare, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the thing here. So spend Rift Bolt, just try to overload our opponent's mana next turn. Yeah, it's X+1, where X is the highest permanence among your thing. And then I think if you don't put a permanent into play, you scry 1 or something. Ethergust. I don't know if it does lands or not. I'd have to check at the exact... I think it's non-land permanent, but... Do I swing here into a potential Snapcaster Mage? I don't think so. Sure, we'll top that. Why not? Alright. Do you have the Force of Negation? Apparently not. Nothing like a good old 40-minute match to get the blood pumping, I guess. Well, at least it's cast and not put in, so at least it can be answered by counter spells, potentially. It's a bit borderline, but I do think we keep it. One-landers are always mildly borderline to me. Okay, JK. Alright, so looks like we're against Uropile. Maybe just guy. Nope, Uropile. Ren and Sixth. Or Ren and Tix, however you prefer to. Hey, another Searing Blaze. Like the worst card in this matchup. Yeah, if you can cascade into it. Opponent's going to 9, but then they're probably going to 12 because Uro's a thing. I'm shocked. The Uro deck has an Uro. Gonna say, is this Omnath? Probably playing into a mana leak here, but one of our big holdups is mana efficiency, so okay, apparently they don't. Mystic Sanctuary back, Force of Negation. Nope. Apparently they just drew that bolt. Fetch land, go to 1, bring back Uro, go to 4. Put Force of Negation on top. Actually, they can't afford to, can they? 1, 2... No, they can't actually put Force of Negation back on top. So a land or a 1-mana spell. I think it's irrelevant, because until Wizards decides what they're doing, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. That was like the worst draw on our deck right now. I guess our hope is to pass here and hope they fetch for some stupid reason. Jace. Horror promise. I think we're dead next turn regardless, so... And hope to draw a Boros Charm and hope they have nothing. Yeah, we at least drew the out, but there's a good chance this is just getting countered. Yep. I mean, we at least played to our outs as best we could. Relics in, Vortex and Skullcracks in. Certain Blazes can safely go out. Rift Bolts can go out as we're bringing in Roiling Vortex. We could conceivably bring in Path, but I just think that's a losing battle. So close, but having 3 dead cards in our hand just doesn't help, and then we have to immediately have a no-lander. This hand's fine. Probably put back Skewer the Critics here, as it's the most awkward of cards. That's a little bit of an awkward draw, but I think we just jam Idle on here. I'm just going to bold it. Nope. Well, I mean, they still might bold it or path it, but we got the Triome instead. I'm gonna hold up Boros Charm here. Yeah, Force of Negation. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you always main phase shit. Uro puts them to 11. Is that lethal? 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's just lethal. Turn 4, threw an Uro and a bolt. Click submit. This is one of our better hands on the draw. Still gonna struggle to be an Uro, unfortunately. Don't know if our opponent's playing Field of Ruin, but I'd rather not get got by Field of Ruin if we don't have to. Feels like a bolt this turn. They're not passing, so I'm guessing they have bolt here. Yep, probably bolting Swift Spear. Path to Exile, sure. Yep, they have the Uro every frickin' game. Kind of hard to beat that. I should fetch first. They didn't. Okay. So because of our opponent's misstep here, I think we just take the chance to resolve these Skewer the Critics. Hope they can't bring back Uro next turn. Still one card short currently. Oh, this could be like an hour of promise. Nope, just another nope, okay. 4 mana, 5 mana, Hour of Promise. Teferi. Well, Teferi's unfortunate. I guess we play that. Probably gonna get Ether Gusted or Celestial Purged. The way they untap that Plains makes me think they have a Purge here. God bless. It's gonna give them enough fuel to bring back Uro. They go to 5. They go back to 8. Yeah, we're just kind of in a pickle here. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play that in what was likely a Purge, just the way they untap the Plains. Six damage. Go to 2, go back to 5. I mean, I guess we go for the line of play that we have. Like, anything blows this up. Counterspell, more life gain. Opponent fetch, so still same result. And now we have to draw a 1 mana play, or 1 mana, yeah, really 1 mana play. Creatures might get there too. We're presuming, of course, that our opponent has no interaction, which of course they don't, but in order to win from here, we kind of have to hope and pray. So, Bolt, Skewer, Spike, I guess are our best draws here. Renin 6 is completely irrelevant. Not that it particularly matters here. I'm just going to hold up Boros Charm during their upkeep. Okay, well, I mean, it's unlikely to resolve. Alright, that was quite the match. That was quite the match. One sec. Gah. But yeah, Lucario, back to your point. The fact that it ramps, gains life, and draws cards is kind of dumb, but... Oh, we're up against Dech. What is he on? Oh, great. We're up against the jank deck, which will probably turn 3S every game and will hit our lives, so... He's on Tibalt's Trickery combo. Which basically there's not much we can do about it. We don't have anything we can really do about it, unfortunately. Alright, fast clock, nothing more we can do. 7-card hand, so we're probably dead. Okay. It's going to Emrakul, go to 10. Oh, and it's cast. Are you freaking kidding me? If it was just put it into play, it'd be so much worse. Wonder if he has some type of weird sideboard plan. With Dech, that wouldn't surprise me. Reflecting Palm is like the only card we could have that would matter. Roiling Vortex deals them 10 potentially, so hand's not fantastic, but at least puts pressure on them. I mean, if he keeps a 7, we're dead, so have to hope they mulligan to Oblivion. So we're going to get turn 2'd this game. Wonderful. I'd have no idea. I'm presuming the deterministic one, because turn 3 should be good enough most of the time. But as he's showing now, he can do it on turn 2. Or not. Cavern of Souls? Homerid. Okay. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I understand the deck folds to any type of disruption, but that's still annoying as crap. Guess we keep this one. Is another one-lander, but still overall pretty reasonable hand. Core Tapper, so we're up against land. Thank you. This is basically just a race. Block and sack. Still get to get Tron next turn, which is annoying. So they have access to 9 mana this turn. You know they have a ballista in hand at the minimum. Guess it doesn't matter if we fetch here, because Searing Blaze, even without landfall, is lethal. So they can ping us twice. I don't know if they can go off from here or not. There's a chance they can, so... If we untap, we win. If we don't, then we did what we could. Hopefully they don't have the Paradox engine to go with it. Could be dead here. Now we sit here and let our opponent play with themselves for a while. I guess the nice part is they can't use Mystic Forge because they're a 1. Karn probably goes and gets which Bane Orb? So that was off the top of their deck. That also was off the top of their deck. So they go get here. Yep. Which means only Swift Spears and Goblin Guides are lethal now. And that's if we're not just dead here. Really large walking ballista. That was fun. Vortex could be relevant, I suppose. Skull cracks could be relevant. Lightning helixes are unlikely to be. Gonna leave in Rift Bolt, even though it does deal us damage with Roiling Vortex. I feel like this hand's just too slow. Basically the same hand, only one less card. And I draw the Goblin Guide, but no land. Alright, we're not winning on a mulligan to 3, so. So the reason I mulligan those initial hands is, yeah, you can potentially goldfish a turn 4.5 win. Can potentially goldfish a turn 4.5 win with just burn spells. The problem is, okay, we go Rift Bolt, Bolt Skewer, so that's 9 damage. We have 2 cards left in hand, which are worth 6 damage. So you need to draw some combination of land burn spell, or 2 more burn spells, over the next 3 turns. So maybe I was supposed to keep that hand, because it had 15 points of burn and 2 lands in it. But like anything throws that off. So I was mulliganing towards Swift Spear, Goblin Guide, Eidolon, Vortex. You know, any of those would have been better. This hand's pretty reasonable. I think against Mountain Go, I'm just going to pass the turn. No reason to play into a Bolt. What on earth is going on over there? At this point, we have to play out the Goblin Guides, but who am I even playing against? Goblins with a terrible draw? Okay. Just attack. Let them sack. Actually, I screwed up here. Should have waited until they sacrificed the other one. Oh boy. Still sack, put us to 15. The other sitting on Prospector, Thought no, never mind, they played Prospector. Matron. They're slinging. Are they really going to take that gamble? Alright, this is a rough matchup too. Want the paths. Skullcrack maybe. Smash is pretty decent because they could have Chalice. Boros Charms, the first cut here. Could also want Firewalker, but they do have a good number of Black Goblins. Right, their Vile deck. Eidolon comes out. His hand's definitely borderline. Wait, what? Why am I fetching this during my upkeep? That's just dumb. What the heck? Made 2 swamps. Opponent brought in Collective Brutality. Probably going to take Skull Crack here. Well, I will at least give our opponent credit. They're not using the swamps, so they're at least trying not to exploit the problem. But at the same time, they're still missing 2... really early. Opponent should bite here. Nope. Okay. Just pass the turn. Actually, that's not true. Hope to get a little bit lucky here. Nope, no such luck. Be interesting to see how many goblins they sacrifice. At least they get the tokens, even though they're swamps. Basically drained us out from... Gonna presume they had another sling gang and we're just dead here. That was fun. Yeah. But apparently they can't attack. But they can be sacked? I don't know. This hand's got 3 lands. It kind of makes it borderline in that regard, but I still think it's a keep. Keeping the fetch land in case we draw a Searing Blaze. One game we draw. See if they chump block here. I doubt they will. Given the fact that they're a little bit light on mana. Really wanted them to have a Chalice or a... Actually, I kind of hope they play Chalice here. That'd be nice. 20 Swamps. Emrakul, I guess? With Harbinger on top. That's downright scary. Yeah, I guess we give them the chance to block here. That said, they get to go Harbinger in the Sling Gang, so we're in trouble anyway, so... Fails to find. I guess that is worse than Matron overall. Nice dead smash to smithereens in our hand. Do they have a land? Okay, well, sure. So, in a trend that continues, people do well with burn. I don't. So we played against Blue Moon, 4-color Uropile, whatever. Go 1-1 in those matchups, lose to Uropile. Play against Sodek in his Trickery, Emrakul, not Trickery, Tibalt's whatever, bullcrap. We can't beat the Million Years as long as they find the combo. And then play against Dice Factory, get turned forward with them at 1 life. Game 2, I took a calculated gamble with the Mulligans, trying to find a faster hand. Mulligan into the equivalent 6-card hand. Mulligan to 5, still looking for a creature. Found the creature, found no lands. Mulligan to 4, no lands again. Mulligan to 3, can't win. Against opponent that kept 7. And then finally played against Gobos, and they had a very weird draw in game 1, and then game 3, they seem to be struggling a little bit there. So overall 2-3, reality 2-2 with whatever Sodek's bullcrap is. I mean, the known quantity with Violent Outburst into Tibalt's Trickery. So overall, not the most exciting league, but, you know, Burn felt fine. I mean, we played none of the matchups that we want to play against. We just played against a bunch of control piles, combo piles, and one creature deck that usually isn't a particularly good matchup for Burn. But we got lucky. They kept a slow hand game 1, and then game 3, we were able to, you know, take advantage of their stumbling a little bit with a pretty good draw. So overall 2-3, and with that, I am going to try to get back to bed. So I hope everyone has a good day. I wanted to get a stream in this morning, despite my very awkward sleep schedule. So hope everybody has a great day, and this will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow, I'd guess, because there's that whole you're supposed to wait 24 hours before posting crap on YouTube thing that no one seems to pay attention to. Other than, I think, Fran's the only one that I've seen actually pay attention to it. So, anyways, hope everybody has a good morning, and I gotta go back to bed so I can head to work myself. So, this has been John for MTG Nexus. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow morning with another stream. Night.